What's up, Juventini? Welcome back to the AJC, your channel dedicated to Juventus. It's match day. At least we could talk about some action. We're going to have the second preseason match, Dortmund and Juventus going at it. We'll take a look at that. That'll be probably more fun than the Mercato, which has been completely frozen. And now we're seeing some scrubs elsewhere start to move along at some good prices. And TikTok, motherfuckers, we got to get cooking. So I'm starting to get a little excited here, okay, with Cannoli Boy, but we'll talk about it all. We're going to have a lot of fun. We got Trim, we got Sev. No sleeves from both these lads, but sleeves over here, okay, because, hey, somebody's got to keep it classy, okay? Sev, how you doing, brother?
What's up, Al? What's up, Trim? What's up, Army? Let's break this game down.
Ready to go?
I'm psyched. I'm ready. Finally.
Nice. I like that. Trim, how you doing, brother?
Good. It's always a good day when Juve's playing, so it's going to be a good match today. I'm probably a little more excited than I should be. I mean, I know it's preseason, but I looking forward to watching the lads play today. So let's get it.
There you go. There you go. We do have a little bit of housekeeping we're going to get out of the way right off the hop here, okay? So big thank you again to Ricardo Santamaggio, okay, Rick Owsey 77, as you know him in the chat, for all the gifted memberships. If you receive one, reach out to us. Let's plug you into the private chat. If you're into gaming, we'll plug you into the FC25, FC26 chat and stuff. But for the members, there's 3 tiers. We just upgraded all the perks, so check them out because there's new features for all 3 levels. And for the 3rd level, for the legend status, each month you will be in a giveaway for the kit. The first kit giveaway for the first month of the season is right here. 0304 Fast Web. And you guys, come on. We don't mess around here.
That's fire.
It's got the boy on the back, okay? So this is the first one for Legends status on the memberships for giveaways. So yeah, and thanks for all your support. And now let's get to the goods. The news headlines from today, guess what? The exact same. Colomwani, he's waiting. This guy, like, holy smokes. We're just leaving him. He's like Tom Hanks at Terminal. I think he's waiting with his bags packed at the airport, just waiting for Juve. Like, I don't understand. Anyways, he continues to wait. We have redundancies that have been listed. It looks like the majority of them are at the back, right? Rugani, Giallo, Savona, they see as redundant, and even Lloyd Kelly. Okay? So, essentially, that looks like where they're trying to make a move because they've got extra bodies. And you've got Kelly where there is interested sides from the Premier League, but again, one of the big things I've talked about, which will come into the show, is Juve wants to hit that 17 to 18 million mark on him. I don't know if they're going to do it. Well, should they give in and just say goodbye? That's going to be a different story that we'll get into. But it looks like Sunderland all of a sudden is coming through with interest. And that's one of several Premier League sides. For Giallo and Rugani, the report is today, one of them will stay. And the other one will get moved. So, again, what does Tudor want? But even this week in the news, does Tudor actually have say? Because we heard about the Miretti situation. We heard Miretti was blocked by Tudor. Well, we heard Alberto Costa was blocked by Tudor. And Via. So, does he have say? Does he not have say? Yesterday, he had an interview for today's game, and he said, yeah, we go through daily updates all the time on the Mercato, and the team's working hard. Yeah, they're working hard on ideas, but at the end of the day, something needs to happen. But some feel that Tudor has absolutely no say. I'm not really buying that, but I do like what I'm hearing as of late with Miretti. On 25 to 30 is what Juventus wants. That's better. I still wouldn't sell at Napoli at all, but we've got a mess of a situation going on, and things are all over the place. And now we're hearing Douglas Luiz today. There's no actual offers on the table after hearing for days that, hey, Nottingham Forest looks like they're going to throw something down. that will meet the required price that Juve's looking for. So what's going to give? Is anything going to give? Where the hell are we? Meanwhile, I just watched Malik Chow get 40 million pounds for Milan from Newcastle. Guys, I'm getting fired up. Where are you at here? Like, Trim, we'll start with you. We'll get Sev. Where are you at so far?
Well, it's kind of all over the place, right? So, going to the outgoings, and if something's got to give, like, definitely at this point, I think if you're Juve and you want to get these guys out, there's got to be a little bit of give and take. We're used to kind of having our pants pulled down in the sense that we never end up getting the values that we really truly want or feel, more often than not, out of some of these guys. But again, I think it's just going to depend on the club's will to get these guys out if they're really holding up potential deals. You got to just, like you said, cut your losses. If it's Kelly, like a couple million, 2-3 million here or there, it's not going to really make or break. Louise specifically is the one I'm kind of intrigued by now, because I don't know. I'm starting to get to a point where, like, I want him gone, and I still feel like we can get the value for him if the teams, if they push hard enough. But let's just say he has to actually stick around. I don't know. Like, he could be useful to a certain extent. It's just going to depend on his fitness. I know injuries were a big thing last year, but we all can agree that Mota didn't use him at all last year, really, and he could have.
But that's a part of a big problem, is the whole situation around him. Like, he's one that, like, he wants to go. He's wanted to go. Like, you have to find a solution there. So that one's a tough one, right? He's also one that has a lot of interest, that it sucks to take a lump on it. Like, there's some moves we got to make and we got to take our lumps on. Louise is a tough pill to swallow because he is a good player. I've always said, like, I don't doubt that he's not going to do well where he goes. I just don't know, for whatever reason, this thing has started to feel like it was just take our young guys at this price and we'll take this on and help you out too. And I don't know if anybody really truly was committed to it or wanted it in the long run, but that's going to be an awkward situation because it feels like Tudor doesn't even care to use him because he had an opportunity, and so we've got a really weird one there with Douglas Luiz. He's got to go, though. I agree with Aldo there coming in there that he's got to go. It doesn't feel right from club, from player, right? So we're in a spot. Meanwhile, you guys, we got to seriously stop, I think, with the excuses when it comes to us selling and this whole desperation thing, or that it's nonsense. I mean, I'm watching it all over the place. Liverpool took a hit on Nunez. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a big fee they got, but they lost money in the long run because they bought him for 85 million pounds.
Right.
Now, I understand that's a hard comparison to make when they make a lot more in revenue and they can clear it and they can handle that easier. However, they know when to do it, and a lot of the teams know when to do it. Napoli broke even on Raspadori. Raspadori is like, it ain't happening for him, okay? And it was a brutal little time for him there where he was shopped consistently. I didn't hear a single peep about, oh, everyone knows they're trying to get rid of him. I didn't hear that. And they got a comfortable price, little bit of bonus on there, no issues. Guys, we're awful at selling. Enough's enough with the desperate, oh, we're desperate, all this, like, enough's enough. You got a job to do, you got to do it. I'm hearing people trying to defend these moves like, oh, well, Malik Chow and Raspadori have potential, whatever. At 24 and 25 years old, how much higher do you think the ceiling's going to go? I ain't buying it. You guys, we can't get 40 million for 5 fucking players. They got 40 million pounds for Chow. Like, The Milan fans are laughing. They're about to get 70 million between Malik Chow and Yunus Musa. Like, they're about to get 70 million between these two guys.
You can't make that up.
It's like, I'm done hearing about every single excuse under the sun to defend Juve and not being able to sell a player.
What I was going to say, Al, was it's almost like we go into this table to sit at the table with like signs on our backs, with no leverage, with no like room to stand on, and we literally take the chump change that they offer. And I think that's our biggest issue. And by the way, this was going on even with Giuntoli.
Yeah.
The same shit. We did that with Rovella. We did that with Hoyson. We did that all the time, where we go into these meetings with no leverage. Or at least that's what it seems like on the outside.
I'm not really sure what it is. Like, I don't understand, but it's not like it's just like this problem is now. Like, this has been going on for a while, where we just don't seem to hit the market the way other teams are, and we just can't convince anybody of like deals. Like, I'm not really sure what's going on, but this is crazy. This is crazy to me. If they get 30 million for Yunus Musa, and I mean, that means like Weston McKennie, we can't even get 20, 25. Like, what are we doing? We can't get Weah. We had to scrounge for 21 million. I mean, it's wild to me. It's wild to me. We continue to look like a garage sale. Not even a club, like a garage sale. Hey, you know what? Like, is this Mexico? Make me an offer. You know? Otherwise, we'll just follow you down the beach, okay, for miles until you buy Lloyd Kelly off us. I'm just kind of over the excuses. Enough's enough. You got a job to do. Figure it out. Everybody else is getting rid of players they've tried to ship for years, and they're doing it, and they're not dropping their pants. But here's the other part of it. Even if you have to, and we'll get to that because there's maybe a hot take coming out of there, okay? Maybe there's a hot take coming out of there with what some fans are saying, and you can see it in the headline that less is more for Juventus this season. Sure. But let's get into this. Miretti, we hear 25 to 30 million euros is what we're actually at. And that's the difference between them and Napoli. On the last live show, we got into a discussion because and Skanga's one of them, and there are other fans that say, I don't care who we sell them to at 25 to 30 million euros. You sell them. None of that matters right now. Bring in the money and let's move the Mercato. I completely understand that. But in the same token, with how weak we are at selling, it all kind of plays together in terms of having a spine when you're dealing with teams and having a little bit of backbone. So do you guys, at this point, knowing where we're at right now at the Mercato, are you starting to give in to the whole Napoli thing, and if they hit our price, sell them? Sev, we'll start with you
for
here.
30, yeah. As
for
much
30,
as it's gonna...
now you don't even care if it's Napoli, just make the move.
No, that's the price of doing business, right? I mean, we need the money, and he's a good player. Can we use him? Absolutely. But for 30 million for us, he's not starting on our team or theirs. 30 million for a backup midfielder is where I'd like to be. But anything under 30, no shot. And if it's for them, I want, for Napoli, 40 million. Fuck them. I would even go higher.
And Trim, if they hit the price that we're good with, bye-bye or still no to them?
I'm still no. That's probably why I'm not in business, because I'm a stubborn SOB. Like, when it comes to Serie A and the Italian teams in general, you know what? They've been petty with us since day one. There's all these anti-Juve clauses. Osimhen can't be sold to Italy for 2 years and all this stuff. You know what? If Juve ever took a page out of that book and started doing that, the league would literally crumble, because they rely on us for our players, our sales, our purchases. So I'm kind of hoping selfishly that we do that. I know in the end that's not realistically going to happen. It's hard to say, honestly, if they're going to stick to their guns and just say no, or they're going to actually stick to that, okay, you offer 30, they'll just do it. I feel like Juve will just end up selling him to Napoli for 30 if they actually truly offer that. But I do maintain, and I said it on the previous live that we had done, that I still don't think that Juve actually want to sell Miretti. And the more the rumors are coming out, it's up and down like a yo-yo. I still don't think they want to sell him, especially with the way the market's going. Like, to go out and sell Luiz and then have to bring another midfielder in and then sell Miretti, it doesn't really make sense to me. It just makes more sense to keep Miretti, even if you, like we were discussing in the green room, if you let him walk as a free in the summer next year, I mean, so be it. But they gotta. I would just keep him. It's just me personally. I'd rather keep Miretti.
Here's like my thing is I'm having a real issue that it's come down to Miretti to get this Mercato moving for Juve. When you have some names that need to free up some say, and this will get into my whole thing that I was kind of ranting a bit about previously on teams knowing when to kind of take their L's and take their lumps and get things going, right? With Juve though, like I don't know, with Napoli, I got a real problem with it, and at some point we have to stop this trend that we're just gonna get stepped all over, and get bullied in the market, especially on players. Again, depending what everybody thinks about Miretti, this guy could easily stay on this team this season. So something's got to give. Either some of you out there believe less will be more for Juve in this market, or you're saying that, but in the same token, you want to move a guy that could probably be useful as a rotational piece in this squad. So something has to give at the end of the day. The funny thing about this whole thing is it reminds me exactly of something that happened personally to me in business. We had in the automotive industry, okay, when I was there, and a part of that and bringing up a couple of service departments and stuff and trying to rearrange their whole profitability, everything. Anyways, there was this private outfit in town locally, and he used to shit on the dealers, shit on all the dealerships, all of them, would put radio ads. Okay, he's like the De Laurentiis of the automotive world over here locally. Okay, so he would shit on them and prop himself up. Okay, well, guess what? He couldn't figure out how to diagnose his way out of a wet paper bag. So who did he have to call upon? The dealers. Huh, funny how that works. Well, what happened when he came to see Alberto? I'll tell you what happened. He didn't pay regular price. Guess what, bud? You're paying well over walk-in rate. Well, your shop rate is this. Yeah, what's your point? This is how much it's going to cost you. Maybe you'll think about that the next time you go out on the radio and shit talk everybody that you actually need. And I stuck it to him, and you know what? It's funny how things change. I must have had, I don't know how many million phone calls, because obviously word gets around in a smaller city, but they all praised me and propped me and laughed, and they're like, I can't believe we didn't think of this. We're going to do the exact same thing. Like, screw this guy. I was like, well, yeah. Sooner or later, you got to have a spine about shit, and you got to make shit right. I don't like the fact that they want to throw shade at Juve every opportunity they get, and we just give into it. This whole, what they do doesn't matter to us. No, it should matter to you. Because you're going to essentially be competing for top four. I don't see this push for Miretti to be a must. Colomouani, does that make it a must? I think there's other ways you get to Colomouani. And that's my thing. Figure it out. Get creative. But the excuses, over time, excuses, that's all they are. And Juve doesn't get ahead. Will less be more for Juventus in this Mercato? Some are saying that it's fine. What's happening right now is fine. They're being patient. They're playing it safe. We can see that, right? They're playing it safe.
Yeah.
Is that actually more risky in the long run, though? I raise that question and challenge everybody that feels that less is more. I'm not saying we need to overhaul the squad. You know, media has come out claiming Comolli's plan is 3 to 4 signings and 6 to 7 sales. 6 to 7 sales. Okay.
Not at this stage.
I mean, now with a few of the other leagues hitting the end of their window, like maybe things can open up there as well. We still have a decent amount of time here, all right, that we can get into things. But here's the thing. Like 6 to 7 sales. So you've got what? Jallo, Savona, Rugani. You probably have 2 defenders going with Lloyd Kelly in the mix too. You want to get rid of 2 defenders probably. You want to get rid of apparently 2 midfielders. That's 4 there. You want to get rid of Duchan. That's 5. You want to get rid of Milik. That's 6. Do you get all these deals done? It could actually still happen. It could happen. That's not crazy to think. You know?
It definitely could happen, Al. I just... What do we got? 2 weeks left? 2.5 weeks left of the
end of August?
Yeah.
We're at August 10th.
I mean, can it happen? Yes. I don't think all of them will. I think at least half of them will, only because the players are going to start getting not frozen out, but essentially frozen out, because they're going to... Maybe it's like who's calling who's bluff first, right? Like with all these players. I mean...
But here's the thing, is calling a bluff, these other teams are making other moves.
Yeah.
Teams that were, looking for positions that you're trying to move players in are making the pickups. And they're not our players.
Yeah. Chow is a perfect example. Newcastle needed a center back. They're not going to go for Rugani or,
Yeah, they're not going to go for those guys. And, the Prem is notorious for overspending on guys. I mean, the list is long there. So he becomes yet another one, right?
Yeah, but you gotta hope like Sunderland, for example, exploit them, sell Kelly, like get that 18 if you can, 17, and
So here's my whole thing with this. Like, I presented something a live show ago, and people were like, "Oh, you want to take like the loss, you want to take the L's, etc." And it's like, we're not going to get ahead. Well, here's the thing: do you not get ahead, or do you actually get ahead? Because we've been playing the same game for years now. I'm very well aware of the number of bonds that Exor's put in over these transitional years, right? It's a big number. It's a healthy number. We currently have a 15 million euro bond sitting there. That's a variable that can become 100 million. It was set up to cover the losses of Champions League. So, yeah, if we cut the cord on some of this dead weight, rather than waste endless amounts of time in a window to try and say some goodbyes, yeah, you would take a capital loss. But is that better in the grand scheme of things? Because I'm looking at this and I'm like, you know what? What I've been saying is get what you can. Okay?
Yeah.
So right now, you're struggling to sell players. So let's just forget the excuse thing, forget all this. You're struggling. Sell your players for what you can. Take your lumps. Ramp up your variable bond to cover. Okay? Yes, you're still going to have your capital loss. This is like a recapitalization. It'll cover losses, etc. But you're able to go out and buy. Yes, your numbers, your balance sheet on the transfer for this, it's going to hurt. It's going to be ugly. FFP, that will come into play for everyone that's ready to fire that at me. I get it. But based on precedent, and again, this would be a bit of a wild card, based on precedent, we would set ourselves up for facing a fine. We are Juventus. It's a wild card. It could end up more, but it would be the first time in all these years that you actually gave somebody a fresh slate, like an actual true fresh slate. If you were ready to do that take your lumps. You go on the wrong side of things now, but you adjust your business moving forward. You now know where you need to be on the wages. You act accordingly. I'm not saying that you say these goodbyes, you take it a cap loss, and you hit the market hard. No. You make smart signings. Smart signings on players that will have resale value, that will hit you at the right age, that hit your books properly and accordingly. So doing that for me, yeah, it looks bad at the start, but I think in the long run, you actually come out better. But we're unwilling to do that because we don't want to take any hits on the mistakes. So you can't say mistakes are made in one token and not be willing to correct them in the other. It's not going to happen. It's not rainbows and butterflies out here. This is the real world. You make a mistake, you take a hit. Poole took a hit on Nunez. Napoli didn't make shit on Rasp. Like, you make a mistake, you take your L, and you move. They wanted way more for Raspadori. They wanted to make money on Raspadori. They didn't. They couldn't.
So is that the thing, Al? Is that why we're being so cautious? Is because we have the scars of losing out on so many deals? Is that part of it?
They're playing safe. For me, they're playing it safe. They are unwilling to take any hits. And if it means staying put in the market, I think they're ready to do that. So for all of you in the chat, for you guys here, is this going to be a strong season? So we just heard Igor Tudor say that, this team, we're not planning on just hitting top 4. Like, we have aims of being 1 and 2. They have the right mentality, this group. I hate to be that guy, everybody, because you guys know me. I love to be optimistic, ready to attack every season. If you have guys with these circumstances, these situations around them, and you can't clean that up, I've said it for weeks on air here. Dusan playing with Juventus this season is not going to be well.
Mm-hmm.
Douglas Luiz remaining with Juventus this season will not be. I would be shocked if those two situations end up better based on the circumstances. Like, you've got to freshen things up. You've got to get guys that want. If we can somehow not land Kolomuani because we're unable to find the moves to do that, a guy that is, like I said, Tom Hanks at terminal, he's just waiting there. Bags packed. Guys, which flight am I jumping on? So far, nothing, man. Just keep hitting that bar in the terminal and wait. Like, you got to get this guy in here.
Yeah.
It's a disaster if this happens. So for me, what's better? Playing it safe and keeping things that need to be broken up and said goodbye to, or maybe taking a little bit of a hit and suffering for a bit, but being able to make some changes, make a charge, act accordingly. I know what route I would go.
I think I'm fine with taking the hit because I'm pretty confident in our roster as is, on our playing roster. I'm fine with it. I think we're going to be competitive. I think we're going to be top 4, maybe even higher. Who knows? But taking the hit now so we could, like you said, breathe a little easier in the future. If that's what you have to do, I said it earlier, it's the price of doing business. You know, you got to deal with some of these assholes sometimes, and that's it.
Sometimes you got to take a step back to take a couple forward. Like, it's the real world. You can't have Chiellini coming out there and literally calling it for what it is. Hey, you got players that did poorly. You can't literally know exactly your situation and not be willing to break to get things moving. I said it and I stand firm on it. A lot of people disagreed with me, but I said it's wild to me and I can't take this team serious if Lloyd Kelly stays before Savona leaves.
Yeah, that'll bother me too.
I can't take this team seriously if Lloyd Kelly isn't the first name to leave. Okay, Jallo could be the first to leave. But I can't take us seriously if Savona's the one that goes before Kelly. And I get it. Plus Valenza, capital, whatever. But at what point do we stop this carousel on the roster of guys that are better being the first to go? It's crazy to me.
Yeah.
It's crazy to me.
Yeah, like I think if the roster stays as is, for me, that's a big problem. And you can pretty much, I've seen it around people saying we're going to struggle to make top four. We're going to be fighting to make top four. Basically, this is my stance. If we keep the roster as is, we're at best fifth, sixth, fighting for fourth. If we stand pat, so playing it safe. I think you have to push, like for me, there's two obvious signings with making those sales and taking a hit like you're mentioning, Berto. There's two obvious signings that stand out that help you instantly. It's Vega at CB and it's bringing back Colo. Then you make those sales, and depending on what you have left and what moves you can make, you can either add another striker as the third option behind Colo and David, because you're going to need a third guy, preferably a young guy. Someone who has Serie A experience would be ideal. If not, there's guys out there that you can find as a third option. And then if you want to look at the midfield, it's got to be the right person. But for me, it's two obvious signings, which is bringing back Colo and unlocking that, and bringing back Vega. I'd be happy with that.
And here's the thing, too. So if Juve wanted to take a hit on Kelly, and they still wanted to sell Savona and make capital there, right? That would do more than offset what you could probably get for Kelly, okay? With that much interest in the Prem, the amount of money they have, you can get 12 to 15 for Kelly, okay? Should be able to get 12, 13 for easily in that range, okay? Just call it what it is and get rid of it. Yeah. So then if you still want to sell Savona. Vega, Chelsea has made it apparent and clear. And this is for me, like, so use that to your advantage. That he is on the outs with them and he also wants to come to your club. So you use that to your advantage. They have a ton of names on their roster. And they've also spent quite a bit. Like, I don't see Chelsea passing up a deal for Vega if you got his okay to come back and you locked in on that will. So sell Kelly, sell Savona, Vega comes in. You still have Laporte on a cheap deal that could still also come in with those two sales. You can even still say Jallo. You can even say Rugani if you want and get what you can. And you got Vega, you got Laporte. And you've got your experience and you've got your young guy, Vega, that's going to have a ton of upside, that's going to have resale value. And you're not breaking the bank on two signings. You just got a solid player in Vega that's been around, showed us what he can do, and you've got Laporte. Okay?
There you go. It's funny that we say young guy Vega because he looks like he's 45, but he's like
the weekend. I call him the weekend because he looks like the weekend.
But yeah,
I see that Wing of Winter is bringing up the salary of Laporte. You need to take a look at the names we just said that are leaving Wing of Winter. His salary would then in turn not be an issue. His salary would not be an issue. But if I'm looking at this team, you have to get another striker in. That's different. That like Milik, Vlahovic cannot remain on this roster. No. I need a striker. I still need a wing back. I still need a left wing back. And I still need a center back, a serious center back on this team before I'm confident. The midfield, if Max stays as a rotational piece as this guy all over the place, but he's being rumored to be playing as right wing back on this team.
That's why.
It's funny because I said João Mario that we've got for 11 million euros from Porto that we are going to pay in 4 installments. I said, you're still going to need a guy if you send Costa the other way. No, we don't. Okay, well, there's McKennie as your right wing back. The funny thing is, he had his best season, I think it was under Max, as a right wing back, where he had like 15 assists or something stupid. But that was just peppering crosses and doing his thing. He's going to stay as a right wing back. So, okay. And the occasional midfielder. So you're going to have Cope Miners, Locatelli, Thuram. Douglas Luiz is going to stay and all of a sudden give a shit when he never gave a shit before. I really... Excuses are excuses. This team needs to get serious. You need to get serious here.
Yeah.
The good news is the league's not running away from us. Thank God the league's not running away from us.
I was just going to say that.
That's our saving grace.
Open. Yep.
And the most frustrating part for me when I look at this whole thing is last year, even with the roster, we had enough points in hand to actually win the title. As much of a mess as Mota was, and as much as the roster that frustrated us, etc., we had the points in hand, and we pissed them away. Like, you don't have to get crazy this window. You just got to be smart. And it might include taking a couple steps back, but being unwilling to do so, I don't know if that's the best play long term. So I get it. So my whole point with less is more. Playing it safe, is it actually more risky in the long run?
I think it hurts you more in the end.
Remember what I said the last live? I said no top tier coach is going to want to come into a mess. The quicker we get the mess gone and we look serious and we move forward and we push, the better. Yildiz. Bremer is on a 60 million euro release clause. These guys will want to compete for something if you don't get your ducks in a row and you don't start getting serious. And it's Juve's responsibility. Look, we always plant the flag for Juventus. Rightfully so. There are situations where players need to respect the club. But the club needs to respect its top players. The few that we actually have right now. Because it's the club's responsibility to provide these guys. And being Juventus, the history, the allure that we have, that everybody talks about right now, is down to strictly history. That's all it is now for allure. That's being serious. I get it. Some fans don't like hearing that. They don't like stomaching it. It's the reality. So if you're going to lure them in and it's going to be history and all this, you have a responsibility to your top players to provide them with a serious club, somebody that can compete for titles. And if you're not doing that, it makes sense that they're going to look elsewhere, especially when there are teams hovering all over a player like Yildiz. We have to sort it out, everybody. Your excuses about why we can't sell, why we can't move in the Mercato, do you think Kenan Yildiz, after another year of finishing fourth or fighting for fourth, and more teams come in at 75, 80 million, do you think that gets easier after another year of just battling for that?
No.
He's going to want to go.
It's going to get harder for him to stay. And those excuses, well, Kenan, listen, man. We tried to sell so-and-so. We tried to sell Kelly. We tried to sell, but like, you think that the players are going to give a shit? It's their livelihood.
Well, the proof is going to be on the field.
100%.
You got to be successful on the field. That's it. That's all we could do now at this point. If no more moves get made, let's just say hypothetically, we go into the year with this squad, basically what we're starting today, and we have to prove it there. That's it. You do your talking on the field.
This team is in a very, very tricky spot. And anybody that doesn't acknowledge that or doesn't believe it is, I'm going to be flat out honest here, everybody, because we need the shot of reality. But this is the reality is you're lying to yourself if you don't understand the severity of where Juve's at right now.
Oh, yeah.
Because we are walking a tightrope. And if it drops, and here's what I mean by playing it safe too. Top 4, we just talked about it. And based on how the Mercato is going, it's not a given. Top 4 is not a given. So, again, my situation, my hypothetical situation that I would want Juve to act in, take some lumps, make some moves, be smart about it, move forward, give yourself the best position, roster-wise, to tackle being able to be amongst the top couple in Serie A, because if you lose that revenue, guess what? That's your whole plan right now. Play it safe. Keep the revenue stream the same. If you don't qualify for Champions League, which is not a given, you're in big, big trouble. Big, big trouble. So the confidence level, everybody in the chat, hit me. Let's say things remain the same. Or maybe even we just find a way to get Kolomuani in. Okay? What's your confidence level in the team remaining the exact same as it is right now? Just Kolomuani comes in, top 4. On a scale of 1 to 5, how confident are you? Top 4. Seth?
5. Without hesitation, I'm a 5. I just think this league is so wide. If the league had like 2 or 3 front-running, run-away-with-it type teams, then obviously I wouldn't be as positive. But I'm not impressed by those teams right now. I'm not impressed with us either, but I just don't see it. I think we'll finish top 4.
So we got some 5s on a scale of 1 to 5. 5 being the most confident. Sev's still confident, no problem. 4. We got some 5s. We got 3.5. We got a 4. We got some 3s out there that are pretty much 50-50. Trim, where you at? Reno coming in hot with a 2. The old deuces, chucking up the deuces, Reno.
Thanks, Reno.
Yeah, so
Reno's got his high top Jordans on, chucking up the deuces over here. Let's go.
As it stands right now, I've got 2 teams that are locked into a top 4 spot. One being the defending champions, and the other being, unfortunately, it pains me to say this, Max Allegri and Milan. So if those 2 are automatic top 4 for me, that means Juve's fighting for 3rd and 4th spot, potentially. Right now I have it as a 3 is my confidence level. Based on the rosters right now. Roma got better. Inter is the same squad with a new coach, new manager. So for me, that's an X factor. I can see them taking a step back, but they're still the same roster. Roma's improved with a new manager and some new signings. Atalanta is taking a step back. And then you've got the likes of Lazio, Fiorentina in there. So basically right now we're fighting with that group there.
And so the confidence level in top 4 is one thing. Okay? So for me, I'm probably between a 3 and a 4. Okay? That's great. Top 4. That's your revenue. That's keeping your revenue the same where you're banking on.
Yeah.
Is that going to be enough to entice Yildiz to remain? Because offers will not stop for this guy year in, year out. So that's our confidence just in hitting top 4. If we don't make a serious push for trophies, and okay, that's great, we keep our revenue the same, is that enough for these guys to still not be enticed if the call comes? That's a whole separate ballgame. So top 4
changes a lot.
Okay, that's your confidence level in top 4. What's your confidence level in pushing for the title?
0 right now. And
1 to 2.
I would say.
And I also want to add the caveat that RB Comps, we see that you want to win the title. I think I speak for the entire show. We all want to win the title. But realistically, we're not going to win the title. Unless we bring Tonali, we bring a top CB. Like, You got to be realistic. So it doesn't make sense to argue and yell and shout at the clouds that we want the title. We all want the title, but you have to build to the title. So making
I
top four,
I
it
actually
is what it
feel we're
is.
not
Nobody's
as
happy with
far
it.
as some make it out to be.
Well, yeah, Al,
Yeah.
you just said it. We kind of almost we competed for it all year last year. If we didn't blow
We
it,
pissed away too many points to actually compete for it. We had a big 16-point gap, and then we got close and we
right? But apparently
shit our
we had the
pants
squad
again.
for it.
But it was there if we didn't cough up all those points.
Exactly.
That was with that roster, with a mess from Malta, etc. But it's going to take more points this year.
That I agree with. Yeah.
It's going to take more points to do it this year. I think Napoli will probably end up in the 90-point range if I would look at their roster and how rounded it is. So for us, that's the thing. We need to round out the roster. You need to be locked in. There's still quite a few question marks. And a lot of it has to do with Tudor. Tudor is a major question mark on this season.
Huge.
So, like, what is the highest, what would you put the highest emphasis on this season? Is it actually going to be this Mercato that some feel less might be more? Or is the biggest emphasis on Tudor? If you like,
manager.
You think the basis of it, the most significance will be Tudor?
For me, yeah, because there's still quality within the team. And there was quality in the team last year, and you're just laying it out how we were right there. We just pissed away points, and what was ultimately the downfall was Motta and tactics and all that kind of stuff. So, I mean, for me, it's going to be, the emphasis is going to be on Tudor, especially with, you know, if we're not able to upgrade and make more depth signings or add some key pieces, he's going to have to work with what he's got. And I don't think any of us are confident enough to say that, like, he can lead us to a title. Top four is possible.
From what we've seen of him historically, I mean, he's going to have to overachieve. He's going to have to overachieve. And if we're looking at the roster, if we don't help the depth situation a bit, if we don't clear up, like, I mean, again, going back to everything we've discussed, you can't go into a season. I'm sorry, but this is where I start to really question things, like the fact that he likes Giallo, the fact he likes Kostic, the fact that, I mean, holy Christ. So are we, in fact, you know, trying to move these guys? Does he see some value in them going into this season? I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, with these coaches, sometimes they really make your head spin. If you guys remember last offseason, Motta just ranted and raved about Douglas Luiz. Ranted, oh my God, he's such a good player. He's this, he's that. Never started him. Barely played him. You know, so it's like you take that with a grain of salt, I guess, at this point, and say, oh, he's going to start Kostic every week and give us a lot of reasons to drink every Sunday morning. So it's that, number one. Number two, just to piggyback off of Trim, Tudor is the X factor in this year.
Yeah.
If we said it last week, if he could adapt, if he could have that mindset, if he can adapt to game by game, play the right way, I think it's all on him, to be honest.
And that's why it goes back to top four confidence, top two push confidence. Mm-hmm. Is top four, just making top four, going to be enough for these guys to want to stick around and keep doing this fight year in, year out? Yeah, it's, you know, we'd love to say, Yildiz, he's not going anywhere. I don't know, everybody. The game has changed. Like, it's going to be super appealing to a guy like that when those big teams call that are competing for everything, especially European glory. You know, we've got to get our shit together. We got to get our shit together. Now, as far as what's going on with Tudor, etc., like, did he block Miretti? Didn't he? Like, who knows? Who knows? I have no idea. No idea. But I fail to believe, and we would be even more inept if we actually didn't consider what a coach is saying as far as input. It'd be wild to just, like, work without having any input, right? Like, why would you do that? But the thing is like, there's probably contract situations in there on certain players where he doesn't have a say. Where it's like, you know what? We've got to do this because we can't, whatever, lose this guy on a free or whatever. So there's probably some things he doesn't have a say in. But it would be wild to see a team not work with a coach through a window. Like, I couldn't understand or comprehend why you wouldn't. So I do believe he's got some say. But I just don't know, everybody. Like, I'm getting nervous the longer this thing goes. The longer this thing goes, I'm getting a little nervous. We've got to ramp things up, you know? We got to ramp things up. We've got a bunch of Storm the Barn. We have a game today. Okay, so the Mercato, guys, Douglas Luiz, apparently no offers. Okay? Comolli's plan, 3 to 4 signings, 6 to 7 sales. Miretti, 25 to 30 is what we want. Kelly is apparently now the key to Kolomuani. I still think it's Vlahovic. I still think it's Vlahovic. I still think it's Vlahovic. Rugani, Jalo, one of them is staying. This is all that's happening in the news right now. There's sweet fuck all in my words, okay? Sweet fuck all going on, okay? Gonzalez, injured. One of the guys we're shopping is injured.
Oh, this killed me yesterday.
Discomfort in the right thigh. Probably minor. But, guys, and I said this a million times, in the middle of a summer, going into your second preseason game, why would you let it out that he's not in? You don't have to say why he's not in the lineup.
Yeah. Like,
Al, it's like me trying to sell you a kit and like half of the C of something is like kind of peeling off and I tell you. Like, why would I do that? Like, I don't get it. I don't.
Why? Like, why on earth, when he's one of the names you've actively been trying to move, he's got interest across 4 leagues from 4, 5 or 6 teams. Why would you do that? And then again, well, Juve's desperate to sell. Nobody wants our players. We like, honestly, guys, we are not doing ourselves any favors.
No, not at all.
You're in the middle of a Mercato. You have the perfect excuse. Well, we're keeping him out. There are some things picking up. And you know what? I even said it on the Daily Update. I said, if you're a team that's interested and all of a sudden you're like, oh, they took him out because something's good, I'd be like, well, hey, we might have to shit or get off the pot if we want Nico. Like, you might even stir something up a little bit quicker, but just flat out discomfort right thigh. Hey, we might have to check the injury history on this guy. Ooh, it's not the best. Yeah, we're out on Nico. Thanks, Juve. You did it to yourselves.
Yeah.
I don't get it, you guys. I don't get it. I really, really don't. But Nico, Godspeed, man. And I'm in a probably minority here. I'm actually okay if Nico sticks around this year. Don't shoot, really. Everybody.
All
okay?
Right.
Don't shoot.
Good show, guys. I'll see you.
I'm okay if he sticks around. Coming off the bench, playing a wingback role, playing one of the advanced roles. Not a main starter. But that's the shitty part, is we kind of paid him as a starter. So.
Well, yeah.
But I think as a rotational piece, I don't have a problem with him sticking around. But we paid him to be more and to be pushing for those starting things. And it's only been a handful of performances where I think he does that. But I'd also, if he's the move to get Sancho in, I'm not in a big rush to say bye to Nico for Sancho. That's just me.
Nico's a little bit more versatile. If I have to give him some defense, is he could play a 9, a false 9. He's pretty good
Sancho
going
is
back
a
on
dipshit.
Well, no, I mean Nico, but yeah, Sancho,
No,
yeah.
I know, but just like Sancho is a dipshit, man. Like I don't want him. I never have.
It's the mentality thing, right? So I think between the two players, like you know what you got with Nico, he wants to be here, he works hard. Like Sancho's just too much of a high risk move. I don't know. It could end up going really poorly. And look at our situation right now with all the guys that we can't get rid of. You want to bring in another guy that potentially will have you strapped to him for a while if he can't prove that he can play and he's a basket case. Like no, I'd rather just keep Nico. It's just based on that, and it's not about talent, skill, any of that.
If it was the Sancho from Dortmund, I'd be on board right away.
Only reason I get Sancho is to use him as a punching bag. Juve's got to sort their business out. Today, business is going to be Dortmund. And yes, there's a watch along. We're not even far from it. It's going to be 8:30 a.m. my time, so we're just under 2 hours away from kickoff. This is where we're going to be going with the lineup. So this is what was projected yesterday. Di Gregorio, Gatti, Bremer, Kalulu, João Mario, Locatelli, Thuram, Cambiaso, Conceição, Ildiz, and Jonathan David. So this is about as good as it gets with what we have. Hey?
I was just gonna say that this is pretty much our A lineup.
Yeah, we're just missing Lloyd Kelly to make it the absolute best. This this is as good as it gets. So I really hope that we look good. We can make some things happen. I mean, there are games where you're gonna need a third midfielder in there, though. Is this gonna be one of them against Dortmund in a preseason game? I mean, who knows? It's just a preseason. It's not the be-all, end-all, but I'm very excited to see Conceição, Ildiz, and David. I think that's going to stand out to the majority of the fan base. Trim, you think so? You agree? Like, that's probably
100%. And I know it's just strictly where they're positioned on the field at the time, but obviously this has the potential to stay as a 3-4-3, or it could be a 3-4-2-1. It could end up being a 3-4-1-2 if you have a guy like David dropping back and you keep Yildiz and Conceição up, because they're both speedy. So I can even see that where David actually drops back and you have the other two pushing up and he feeds them the ball because he's such a good facilitator. So like I said, I can't stress enough, these two guys are going to love playing with David, or anyone for that matter, just because of how versatile he is and how unselfish of a player he is. He's really like one of the most unselfish nines that I've ever seen play. And again, that could be either a detriment or it could be a good thing, because I know a lot of people want their nines to be just absolute gunners and goal scorers, but this guy has so much to offer. So it's just going to be really interesting and really fun to watch these guys play. And I think there's a lot of creativity there. So, but to your point, I want to see a third midfielder. If that means going to a 3-5-2, the problem is that you lose either Chico or Yildiz in that formation, in that setup. Unless you can convert Chico to a wingback, which I don't see as a good option. We have to basically stick with the two-man pivot and then the two guys out wide. Unless you go to a four-man backline, which I know we've talked about and discussed at length. We'll have to see.
Do you guys think that there's any four-man backline that would have a lineup that you would pick over this one? Chat, is there a four-man back set that you would pick over this setup?
I think right now, just looking at who's out there on this roster, the easy option is you'd have to push Kalulu out on the right side, Gatti, Bremer, and then it would be either one of Cambiaso or João Mario at left back. But I know João Mario is more comfortable on the right side. Yes, this I will go with. Yes,
I love
David
this. Trim is to David what Swarid is to Chiesa. I absolutely love that.
Yeah. But yeah, I think for me that's the strongest four side. But the problem is it doesn't leave you options coming off the bench.
I think the second half of this game, or at some point in this game, I want to see a four-man back set with three mids, and I want to see the three attack. Like, you can keep this three attack the same. You could put in a third midfielder. And yeah, you've got a bit of a similar situation between Joao Mario and Cambiasso because neither is, well, from what we hear, that's Joao Mario's biggest downfall is the defending. Cambiasso is not a great defender. And he can have positional errors. So you take your pick there. Kalulu, for me, is his best on the outside as a right back. So if you're going 4-man back set, you can have Kalulu, you can have Cambiasso on the outside. Joao Mario can be used when you have to go in this type of setup. He could probably even do it as a 4-man, but if he's going to suffer tremendously defensively, we haven't seen it yet. He might be to the point where we're like, oh, that's fine. You'll deal with a little bit of, heart palpitations here and there if he's going to still be great in support of the attack. I need to see it, though. I need to see it play out. One of the things with this and a 3-man back set that most coaches like when they go to it is that it supports the attack evenly, balanced from left to right, and allows you to kind of be aggressive. But that aggression goes away when you play teams that can out-control you. So control is a big thing with how aggressive you get. Tudor's setup, when he has lost control, those 2 games at Club World Cup were a disaster. They were a disaster. Yeah. So he's got to kind of figure that out. One of the other things we got to figure out is the change-up from personnel. Cope Miners. I got a hot take. I think he's actually going to have a good season. I think he's going to have a good season this year. I know.
From your lips to God's ears, Al.
I think he's going to have a good season. But a lot of it has to do with how we play. And I'm hoping that Joao Mario actually plays a big part in that. And the reason why is Cope Miners coming to Juve, the biggest difference from the way they played at Atalanta was that Atalanta kept their shape the whole way down the pitch. They had their fullbacks, and their fullbacks bomb, and they keep the flank width. Big time. They also have several bodies that hit the area. Cope Miners was at his best as the trailer. Making the late runs, the late moves, and look at the goals he did score. That's the way they were. You play on a team that is so narrow in Juve that has all inverted players. If Joao Mario keeps the width, if he can approach from the outside, Conceição playing inside centrally also takes more space. So it becomes redundant. That's why I think they've changed them up. Like Tudor keeps changing them up. It's one or the other. 3 mids, 3 attackers, keep the width. You can even go 2 attackers. Keep the width, though. He plays out of the midfield. He makes the late moves into space. But if everybody's inverted, they're just in each other's way. And that's like a big thing, is everybody's occupying the exact same space. When you watch that game with Nico Gonzalez and he plays the outside, it's night and fucking day to having a guy like Joao Mario, because Nico cuts inside every single time. Inside, inside. But you're cutting inside to a team that's playing 2 inside attackers behind a striker. So eventually you have no more fucking space and you're all in the same spot and nothing happens. How we play makes a big difference in what you get out of guys. System does matter here and there. So you can say system player. But you can't throw your fucking hands up and say these guys are not good. They're not good players. That's bullshit too. It's in between.
Yeah.
The guy played well. Why did he play well? What are some of the differences? Figure it out. It's not rocket science. Find a way to get the best out of the players you have. It doesn't mean this is how I want to play as a coach. You play right here. Make it fucking work. You might have to change. The best coaches in the world fucking did it. Don Carlo Ancelotti did it. Otherwise, we'd be here in 2025 talking about all he does is a 4-4-2. And do you think his fucking life would have ended out the way it did? Probably not. If he stuck to his guns the way he always wanted to play. Players should make you change things as a coach. But yeah, I'll die on the hill. I don't care. Cole Miners will have a good season.
I'm there with you because I do like him and I appreciate him as a player. I also just think, like I said, it's, with certain guys, it's easy to say after, your team signs him that, oh, you didn't like the player, so if you want him gone after one poor season, I can understand. But I think it was universal across the board that we were all excited to get this guy. So to now just throw him under the bus because we paid $60 million for him after one season without giving him a chance to redeem himself, to me, is crazy. And I'm willing to do that with any player across the board. Doesn't have to be him, doesn't have to be my favorite players, like even a guy like Nico. As an example, Nico Gonzalez, I said last season, I'm like, I don't think we should sign him. I think it's kind of redundant to bring him in, this and that. We signed him. He played last year, didn't play that great. I'm not throwing him under the bus saying, oh, we have to get rid of this guy. If he sticks around, I'll give him a chance. It goes without saying for, like I said, managers or even players. But like I said, this guy didn't just fall off a cliff. It's not like he forgot how to play. I understand the whole Atalanta system player, but to your point, Berto, all the points you made, like, it's about the coach getting the best out of him and adapting to the players that he has.
The player needs to be worth the change, though. No, because the benefit to the group should trump all of that. What's best for the team. You can't throw anybody out there and continuously ask them to do something. Like, it's got to work. It's got to work for everybody. When we were pigeonholing him and he's going out to the flank, I'm like, why the fuck is he on the flank? And like with Mota, he did that all the time. Drifts out to I'm like, why? What on earth? And as a coach, how do you let that happen? Time and time again. I'm like, dude, that's not where he's going to be of any service to Juve. So why is he out there? Figure it out. That's all I'm saying, is that it's got to all come together between all of them. Yeah.
I think
but they got to figure it out. And Tudor, is he going to be the guy? Fuck, I hope so.
I hope so. But I think with Coop, it's more of a confidence level thing right now. He just plays. His demeanor just looks shot. He looks nervous. He's shooting balls all over the place.
Well, that's the thing, too, that's just uncharacteristic, is the shooting has always been really good from him, and it's just been fucking sky balls. Like, after sky ball, it's like, we got to see. We got to see. Storm the barn. We're going to fire away, though, before the game here. What did Francois say when he got arrested for not having a shirt on in Saudi? I didn't wear anything modest. Oh my God, Adam.
Does he
That's
mean
cardworthy.
Does he?
Yeah,
Francois Modesto, the new technical director. That is straight red, Adam. Holy hell. What did I just read? Good Lord.
I had to read it twice.
I love you, though, brother. I love you. But my God, straight red. Straight red. And with that, it's official. He has passed Montero for most red. So congratulations, Adam. You hold a record. Yep. Appreciate it. We love you, buddy. We love you. Holy, that was brutal. We are looking for a left center back with good distribution, rock defensively, works in Tudor system, and is a strong character. I know a certain Portuguese guy with a great mustache that ticks those boxes. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Vega. Man, Savio Vega. Old school. WWF. 90s. Renato Massive Vega would be awesome. I think right now, Massimo, if he's driving, is probably driving off the road every time Vega is mentioned. Yeah. I said it throughout the season. I was very impressed at his young age and coming in and the attitude and just, I mean, I said I'd be happy to retain him. So, hey, it's not dead. I mean, same thing. We got to say some goodbyes. Did you hear the name of the new team chef? Federico Spaghetti. Hey, come on. We got more jumping in here now. Yellow, but great first attempt. Great
For
first
the first
attempt.
one, yeah, you can't give him a red yet. That was a good honest effort there.
That's a yellow. That's a yellow. Great first attempt. Okay, now we're getting to the hits. Can this team be successful with Elkin leading the club? Whew!
That's
hot one. Hot one.
Yeah.
Hot one. Sev?
Ugh. God. I with my heart, I say yes. With my brain, I say no. I can't. I just don't see him. If he was just the type to just sign the checks and that's it, and hire the right staff underneath him, you know, step by step down to the coach, and he's literally just a money guy, sure, fine. But he needs to know his place, and you're confused with it, right? Like, we don't know what his place is. We know where his heart is, I hope. But we don't know where his place is, and neither does he. Where are you going to be a hands-on type owner, or are you going to be just a check signer? And I think until he realizes that, what he is, then we're going to be like this every year.
And Trim?
Yeah,
I don't.
I mean, the track record's not good. Just look at, he's been the main man since Agnelli's left. And what are we at, 4 years? Like, I think Agnelli was still here the first season, like since we've won our last Scudetto. So Agnelli was there for year 1, and then he got removed. So it's been 4 years of just Elkan. I mean, I think the proof's in the pudding. 4 years is enough of a resume to kind of build off of. I mean, I'll keep it short and sweet. It's just, like, to Sev's point, if you have a guy running the team aspect and he's more of the business guy, I don't think we'll have a problem. It's hard for me to question him as a person when it comes to his love for Juve. I think it's safe and fair to say that he loves the club, which is why he's been part of it for so long. And he was with us for the 9-year run that we had. Just, we had Agnelli as the sporting guy. So if he can find a sporting guy, if it's not bringing Agnelli back, then we'll be okay. But until it's just him, we're going to see more of the same, because clearly he's kind of hesitant, to Tal's point of, he puts the bonds in place, but it's like, clear the debt. And if we cleared the debt and get rid of the dead weight, I think a lot will change. But as of right now, I'd have to say no.
The business has to change. Like, so much has to change. Okay, so to answer the question, can the team be successful with Elkin leading the club? The team can be successful with Elkin while he wasn't leading the club, while he was the guy in the background and everything. So yes, we can be successful with him in that role, with him making certain decisions. This is where I start to question things, because what on earth has qualified Scanavino for a promotion?
Nothing.
Somebody tell me. Anybody, tell me something. What has qualified Scanavino for a promotion? What qualifies the current president to retain his role while falling asleep at a fucking match in Ferraro? What qualifies these guys to do that? The fact that they've completely thrown the last sporting director under the bus for decisions that they could have vetoed at any point in time, but they had a problem in the summer when the fans were screaming and shouting. Okay, that's great. That guy's gone. Where are you guys at now? You've put a new guy in place, Comolli, and you've given him the same shitstorm to try and clean up. And Elkin's put in a 15 million bond, variable to 100, but was only if we didn't qualify for Champions League. Instead of saying, you know what? Can we just start fresh? I want to make this. Why do you think there's no sporting director hired right now? Why in the hell would you bring a sporting director into the shit show right out of the gate? It was going to be Comolli's game from the hop. And a sporting director is going to come in late September and start from there. We did the same thing with June, but it's different names, but it's the same old story. And it's been a while now with Elkin. So he can be in the back. He could be Exor, the owner. I have no problems there. But I question your decisions right now because I question the ambition. I said it a lot last year. Does Juve actually give a fuck about winning trophies anymore? Or does Elkin want this thing to be something that it's never been financially? Because our ambitions were always winning. That, I don't know. And another thing, I question anyone that shows up to events like this. Come on. Got to be able to laugh a bit. Yeah, I don't know about the calls. I don't know about some of the calls. I don't know. What do you expect in Champions League of Juve this season? Guys, what do you expect?
Ooh. I'm going to say expectation. I can't waver from last season. So my expectation last season was to get to round of 16. We were a game short. We had to play a couple playoff matches and we saw how that went. So I'm going to still say round of 16. That's my expectation. Doesn't mean that I believe it's going to happen, but that's my expectation.
Yeah. And Sev?
The team didn't change much. We didn't get better. I don't think we got worse. We might have gotten a little bit better up top. And we're going to have Bremer, hopefully, for the whole year. So I'm going to stick with what I had last year. Same with Trim, round of 16.
Yeah, I mean, let's be realistic here with what if we accomplish what we're expecting in the Mercato, it's not going to be earth-shattering, right? It'll be better. It'll help us. It'll round us out a bit. But it won't be earth-shattering. So, yeah, round of 16 should be the aim. That should be, like, well, obviously, not like the aim or the dream or anything, but, like, round of 16 you should be getting to. Will we? We wait and see. But, yeah, round of 16 is, like, go there and then see what happens, right? Okay, what do we got here? Forza Juve. Prime CR7 or Jonathan David. Who's the better player? Trim's going to say David, the Iceman.
No, I was just going to say this was easily this is a bait question for me. This is like, come on, man. You know, I can't say David over CR7. Like, that's
you know what's interesting? I talked about what did I do? So everybody was talking about worst transfers, etc. Like Juve, and I made that video on my top 5 personal worst transfers because the comment made out Vlahovic to be the worst, and that was somebody. And I said, you know what? It's not. Wow, like I know, and I didn't consider free transfers. I left the freebies out. That's probably a whole separate ballgame, whole separate video. But anybody that had a fee related to him, I actually had Dusan at number 3 for worst of all time. I had 2 others that I consider personally. I think Artur is probably number 1.
It's the only one that comes to mind.
Yeah, it has to be up.
It's probably number 1. The fact that we've spent over 100 million euros total between wages and purchase price, and he's got, 42 appearances for the club. That's probably the worst. But for me personally, it's Felipe Melo because I can't stand. Fuck that motherfucker. Okay, but there were some saying Cristiano Ronaldo is the worst transfer of Juve ever made. Now, there's more than just a couple people that felt that way, and that's because everything kind of started from that move. But that's exactly why I didn't consider him in the discussion, because it was circumstances that had nothing to do with actually him as a player.
Exactly.
Or football in that, for that matter, because it was all tied to COVID.
Because even if you believe that is the worst transfer because we couldn't afford him, all that, that's still on us. That's on management.
Yeah.
If we could have never afforded him and we couldn't have supported him the way we needed to, whatever, that's not a Ronaldo problem. That's a Juve problem. COVID is not a Ronaldo problem that we had no revenues, etc. Like, so I can't throw him in there at all. And he's the quickest to hit 100 goals. Like, he did his job. So I don't consider him in that.
If he would have came here and shit the bed, then sure. No problem. But he actually was, he's got like, he leads how many stats that he has, and he was only here for 3 years. Come on, it's a silly argument in my opinion.
And I can understand people's opinions and their frustration with that whole thing, but I mean, man, even for me, like someone who was, I've always like, full disclosure, prior to him joining Juve, like I was not the biggest Ronaldo guy. I didn't hate him, I didn't shit on him, but I was never the biggest fan. Growing up watching him with the national team of Portugal against Italy, rival, right? Like I was never the biggest fan, but when we got him, like how could you have not been excited to see him play for your club? And not to mention just the statistics that came with it. And so it's just, for me, you can't put it, like I can't put it in that realm, because he did his job and it was just factors outside of football, external, that caused the downfall. But you have to agree that it had a trickle down effect, which is why we are kind of where we are today.
So. This I understand too, because the CR set, like the team was different, and we kind of did lose a bit of our soul because everything was around him.
Yeah.
So I get it. As far as Apex though, pump the brakes on this, man. We'd be at ADP. Excuse me? Take it easy there, bud.
Whoa.
Pump the brakes.
That is aggressive.
That's a warning shot there, bud. That's a warning shot there. Easy. Thank you, Capo. Easy. And also, this is a lie, by the way. Half the channel left the last year because of CR7. The analytics, completely against that. And you know what? I don't want the bandwagoners. They can run around and go follow Ronaldo. They're in Saudi somewhere. Okay? That's cool. Never going to happen. They probably bought those fucking disgusting, ugly kits that had a patch from every team fucking Ronaldo played on that those guys are making over there, and fucking wear it with pride, because now they're catering to the fanboys there. It's crazy. But no, never ever disrespect Del Piero. We can't do that. Let's not fall into that. Definitely not over. No, just don't do it. Just don't do it. But CR is not the worst. CR is not the worst transfer that Juve's made. And speaking of windows, some are saying this is the worst Mercato ever. I already disagree. No, it isn't.
No.
It isn't. But we'll leave that for another time. Tuna. There's Tuna. Let's go. How do we feel about Coney de Winter headed to Milan for 25 million? We got 25% on the sale, but another youngster gone for pennies, now being sold for substantial funds. It's all like, I feel like when it rains, it pours in terms of the outlook, right? Because if you go back to Coney de Winter, when we were like saying goodbye, it was like, okay, let's go see what happens and then decide if we want to bring him in and everything. He became a discussion point just recently on should we be looking at bringing him back. I wasn't against it, and I'm not against it. I wouldn't be against bringing him back.
Same.
And, maybe you go that route. That's a pretty decent signing for 25 million euros. But it's the same thing that everybody's going to complain about. Is he a Juve caliber signing? Everybody's saying that. Is he a Juve? Like, these guys aren't Juve caliber. The reality is, like, you've got to get out of this shitstorm before you start really upping the caliber. And you also need some guys to hit that could raise their level. to maybe become a guy that you think is worthy of that caliber, right?
Agreed.
Like, we thought Vlahovic was going to be to Juve. Not the case. And you spent a ton of money.
Yeah, that's just it. It's like, you gotta, this mentality, like, not that I'm against it, but to your point, Berto, it's like, how many guys have we signed? Like, for example, I'll use Coop, who's our guy that we appreciate, we still feel can bounce back. Did we say he wasn't a Juve caliber signing last summer when we signed him? No, but now all of a sudden he's turned into not a Juve caliber signing, and he's shit and he's got to go. And then, like you said, to your point about Vlahovic, nobody had any gripes about that. Everybody was on board. It's always the young guys that I find get this kind of rap that they're not Juve quality. And it's like, well, you don't know what you have until you play them. And then furthermore, it's the same people saying that will say that, oh, once they are sold to another team and they play well and then get resold for a higher value, then it's, oh, well, Juve sells all their young guys. So you can't have it both ways.
Yeah.
It has to be one or the other. And that's why you have to, for me, I remove that mentality when it comes to this guy's not Juve quality. Give him a chance, see what you have, and then decipher after.
But like, the team has to stand for something too. Like, they have to count for it as well. It's not like it's like we pick up these guys and then they fall flat on their face, and it's time after time after time, and we never think to question the club and what the club's doing to grow, to groom, to develop, etc. Like, I don't know. Like, Vidal was a nobody when he came to Juve.
Yep.
That's a good
an
shout.
absolute nobody.
Yeah.
He became the best box to box. Marquisio. Would Marquisio have had the chance to put in the time that he did if it wasn't for what happened in 06? Who knows?
That's a good point.
Right? But that was a guy that probably wouldn't have got a shot because we're chasing the Juve caliber and spending, etc., whatever. But he proved that he was Juve caliber. Like, these guys can come out of nowhere and become Juve caliber. Yildiz could flop. He could have flopped. And we could have been like, whatever. Like, Pogba was a nobody. I didn't think we should have sell him despite his will. I said I still wouldn't sell him. I know he wants to go. I still wouldn't sell him at that point.
Yeah.
But like, Coney de Winter, like, right now, it sucks because of how we're playing and what we're getting out of the guys. Truthfully, we've got a lot of guys that should be rotational guys, squad players. So you do have to up the quality. You need some more leadership. You need experience. Like, you need quite a few things. But where I'm looking at right now is the moves we have to do can't be lateral. They have to be upgrades. Coney de Winter is an immediate upgrade on Kelly, Jallo, and potentially Rugani. So I'd be happy.
Money, though, for that money, I'd go after Vega, because he could do it. Vega was did anybody know Vega before he came here last year? Now he's like a fan favorite, especially to Mas.
Oh God. Mas is gonna I think Mas is gonna hold a parade where he lives if Vega comes back.
I'll join the parade because I know where he's at. So it'll be the two of us parading down the street.
It's about like the collective. It's about everything. Like, Juve can't be wiped clean of this, right? Like, they, again, going back to what I said earlier about their responsibility to compete, being Juve when you bring players in. When you, like, there's an expectation there that they need to maintain and uphold for their players as well. So, hey, we'll see. Some players hit, some players miss, but right now we're missing more, and that tells me there's something going on in-house. And Paulo said something too in terms of when we were talking about Elkin earlier. Seems to be a big gap from the guys working and the guys at the very top with like Scanavino, Ferraro. It's like there is this big friggin' gap there where these guys almost don't even exist. And it's weird. It's weird. So we'll see. And again, We've got Coney de Winter is average at best. I dare anyone to have at least 2 things he does adeptly. Let's get serious here, please. So Lloyd Kelly, you would rather have than Coney de Winter, because I would take Coney de Winter every day, twice on Sunday, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times on Sunday over Lloyd Kelly, over Giallo, even Rugani. He's not my top pick, but he would be a... And we get 25% on the sell-on clause since it goes to us. So, hey. But I would take one of Laporte or Vega. Thoughts about us playing a 4-3-3 today and not the predicted 3-man back? I want to see it. What's your 4-3-3? Who would you start? Who sits?
It's probably going to be Mario, right?
Sit Mario, play Kalulu as right back.
Yep.
Cambiasso on the left. Bremer and Gatti.
Yep.
In the midfield 3, Colt Miners.
Thuram, Luca.
And Coop.
Well, would it be Coop or Miretti, right?
And
you
then
got to start Coop.
Conceição, Yildiz, and David, no matter what, to see what the 3 can whip up.
I have a question. If we do wind up going with a 4-3-3 today, is it because of who we're playing?
No, like I think he needs I think it really goes to show that we've got, and credit to him, because I just spent a bunch of time talking about a coach working with the guys he has to sort it out. You're caught between setups with the roster.
Yeah.
So,
and you've got more, for me, you've got more substitution depth when it's a 4-3-3 as opposed to a 3-man back line, specifically at the back, because you've got Joao Mario and you've got, if it's Giallo for right now and Kostic, whatever, I hate to say that, but those are the options we have out wide. Savona,
And my bad, because usually the games are not on at this time, but let's get this lovely shirt fellow out of here. But the lineup is out, so we do have the starting 11. It's right here. So, Di Gregorio, Kalulu, Bremer, Kelly, told you, Cambiasso, Colt Miners, Locatelli, Thuram, Conceição, Yildiz, and David. So
it's 4-3-3, yeah.
4-3-3, or Colt Miners finding his new position, right wing back. It's a 4-3-3. So
and gotta hope that Kelly starting is to showcase him. I can't believe I'm actually saying that, but that's what I'm going with, and I'm gonna stick with it. So Kelly, put in a solid performance so we can showcase you, okay, bud?
Jesus.
Well, do you guys think if Luis doesn't have any minutes in this game, does it mean that something's brewing as far as a move? Because we saw that with Weah last week. Like, Weah didn't get any minutes in the Reggiana game, and then like a day later he was gone.
But there was a substantial report about the offer. There's no offer for Luis. So that's the problem.
Yeah.
And another part of the problem is he's only apparently liked one team, one option, Nottingham Forest. He hasn't been interested at all in any of the others. So it's going to be interesting. But Lloyd Kelly is just, man. I'm waiting for the report that a 20 million offer has come in for Lloyd Kelly and Juve rejects. Tudor rejects. He sees Lloyd Kelly as a main for the 25-26 season, and I just feel the collective gasp of the entire Juventus fan base. He is inevitable. The Lord Kelly. Unbelievable. But okay, so this brings me to the next part of the discussion that we got to get into and just talk about this whole left-footed CB thing.
Yeah, buddy.
Okay. I don't put much weight on right foot and left foot stuff. I never have. I mean, I see it as obviously good. I see it as Yeah, it would be preferred, but it's not the be all end all for me. Like it never has been. And I've had this discussion with Paolo because Paolo's like, I know you don't buy into it, whatever. I'm like, I don't. I mean, and it must be from my playing days, etc. as well, because predominantly out here, like you barely see left footers out here. I can't even name 3 across all the years that of guys I've played with. So we never even thought about it. You're playing the left side, you're right-footed, like, doesn't matter. And you also train to be 2-footed anyways, and at a professional level, like, you hope you got something there, but it was never make or break. Even I could think back to the old school 90s, like Serie A era, when Serie A was the balls. You had a ton of right-footers out on the left side. Ton. Fucking Paolo Maldini's probably like one of the best to ever play left back, and he was like all-timer at left back and center back, and he was right-footed, and he played left center back and left back.
The only position I feel that it's somewhat relevant, and I still don't really think it, is maybe as a striker. Like we've seen Dusan do everything in his power to not shoot with his right foot. Like he'll fuck up so many plays because he's trying to get to that left leg. That's the only spot. As a CB, I don't think it matters. I'm sorry.
I think it doesn't hurt, but I just don't like. I don't know if I have a better player available for the main task. Like, I'm not gonna go to somebody else because he's left-footed. Like Kelly to me, and I don't even like Kalulu as a center back in a 3-man in a 4. Like I just don't like him as a center back. But I would play him over Kelly, and his left foot wouldn't stop me. Like, Kelly's left foot wouldn't stop me. That's all. I don't know. But all this weight on this stuff that for me, and maybe it's just because I'm old and whatever, it's never really mattered. So it just, whatever, I don't know. I feel like there's way too much invested nowadays into shit that doesn't really ultimately matter a whole fucking hell of a lot. Like, ball playing center backs. Yeah, fucking cool. Malik Chaw can play the ball. Malik Chaw can't defend to save his fucking life, but he could play the ball, man. And like, no, left foot. You gotta have left foot. Can't play in their left foot. Bullshit. Just fucking play. So you're telling me a ball playing center back is gonna sit Chiellini in today's game?
Yeah, apparently Calafiori is going to sit Chiellini right now.
I'll watch Giorgio Chiellini stumble, bumble, rumble, tumble all the way around with that fucking ball, because when it comes down to his first job as defending, he'll fucking kill you. He'll fucking kill you for that ball. Yep. So, but to each their own. It's a new day. It's a new age. Fucking, it's all about Flash, baby. It's all about Flash. Cool. All good. All good. And I'm sure these debates are going to fire away. All good. Bremer can play the left. But Bremer's got to be in the heart, man. Got to be in the heart. But yeah, Bremer and Gatti. Bremer was playing the left in a 2-man center back last season at the start for Mota before he got injured. Fuck, man.
He looked good.
We didn't allow like 5 attempts a game when those two were playing. It was crazy. Yep. And do you remember how high that line used to play? Man, I hope we can get back to that. But the concern going into today's, man, how easy Reggiana of all teams, found space in behind our back line and was like running breaks at us. So, Dorman, this will be interesting. This will be interesting today. I'm looking forward to it. It's an hour away. We are going to do a watch along. Trim, Sev, good shit today, boys. There's a lot to tackle. Will less be more for Juve? I don't know. We might have to get used to it because it looks like they can't sell Snoop Dogg a dime bag right now. So I don't know what the hell's going on. We can't sell nobody. I'm watching these deals go left and right, and here we are. We're just sitting there in Skanga the whole time, sitting at his table in his kitchen. The place is burning down. This is fine. Yeah, it's fine. It's all good. We should all be like Skanga. It's fine. Go do whatever you do. I'm going to take a little breakfast break, okay? Get a bite, a little espresso, and then I'll be back watch along time, baby. Hope to see you all there. Drop a like. Okay, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. For those asking about memberships and whatnot, you got to do it on a desktop. But we have it. We have the kit going away for the first giveaway. Each month, our Legends members will be in a giveaway for a kit. This one, 0304. This beauty right here with the man. Where's Apex? The man. Apex. Huh? Easy boy. The man. Who's going to win it? Right now? It's actually only between 2 that are in legend status. A ton of members, but only 2 are in legend status. So Pino's already talking about upgrading. He's like, I got to upgrade. He's like, that's crazy. All right, so let's go, everybody. We'll see you in an hour. We'll have some fun. Take care. As always, fino alla fine. Forza Juventus. Ciao tutti.